going on? It's yeah boy, Luke Man, and I have a free course for you. It's called Alternate Picking Mastery. So if you want access to that, boom, there's a link in the description below. Pick drop. But I want to talk about something a little bit different today. Normally I'm covering alternate picking, but as a matter of fact, I had a great question from one of my clients. That's right, because I work with a lot of guitar players online in my online coaching school. It's called Premium Guitar Coaching. And what he said was, hey man, I'm really curious about this technique because some fool online, who I checked out and actually had sick vibrato and stuff, some fool online is doing some killer legato playing. And they're playing it clean and it sounds good, and they were only stroking one pick stroke, and then after that it was like all legato. And you know what? That's what I wanted to talk about today. So we're gonna uncover killer legato technique. So for me, what's important is that you can do this stuff with left hand. Legato is such a big foundation for building up alternate picking. So if you like alternate picking, you know, then learn to like legato because it's your best friend. As a matter of fact, for a long time, I only played like Randy Rhoads licks. You know, and then you grow up and you realize, okay, so like Randy had some cool stuff, but you know what else? You know who else had some cool stuff? It's freaking Yngwie Malmsteen. Yngwie Malmsteen. You know, and maybe Malmsteen didn't play any of that, but just as a side note, if you're trying to develop fast alternate picking and you want all those licks to sound crispy, guess what? They should probably sound crispy picking one note per string. No notes per string. Maybe cleaner. It's easier on one string. I cheated. Anyway, yeah, you want to be able to do that. You want to develop that. And so if you want to have a little bit of a vision into what your hand looks like right now, we'll watch my right hand try to do the same thing. Okay, so obviously it's not quite as trained, and what I would recommend you do is you start with just the hammer on, and I'm using this hand to kind of like mute these strings. So if you want, you could do that, or you could put a towel down over the neck, not necessarily like on the floor. You could, if you want to catch your tears from trying to practice this, sound as good as I do. Not really, I sound pretty good. So anyhow, when we start here, we go hammer on, hammer on, hammer on. And what I was explaining to my client too is I was saying, I take this finger, oh wow, it's because it's so green, I already got like little grooves on it. So maybe you got the grooves, right? So you want to place the groove that's fretting the string kind of like in the middle of your finger here. Now we're going to use the top portion to mute the string above what we're fretting, and we're going to use the bottom portion here to mute the string below what we're fretting. So that's right, even though right here I'm playing 3 strings, G, B, and E, you're hearing only one. So I'm going to explain that one more time. I'm fretting with the middle portion of my finger on the B string, and I'm using the top of my finger to mute the G string here, and then I'm dragging over the E string with the very bottom of my finger here. And honestly, when it comes to legato, like this is what my hand just naturally does on every single string. And so when I notice I'll play through a 3 note per string scale, which, you know, if you want to get down with the 3-note per string scales, just memorize them already. You know, if you have trouble doing that, maybe you should try premium guitar coaching, okay? It takes my clients on average 2 weeks to memorize the whole fretboard. Not to brag, but it's a little bit to brag. All right, so what I like to do is I like to fret every single note that's in the scale, just as like a pre-roll. So as you can see, if I go down this scale, my fingers adjust to every single note on the string, like all 3 of them, as opposed to just one. And so my left hand is here just to hush and quiet the strings, even though I'm fretting. So maybe I'm fretting with my pinky, but I'll be muting with my middle finger or my pointer finger. Now, this stuff kind of takes some time to understand, but I recommend playing with a lot of distortion. And a lot of gain so that you can develop these techniques and these instincts rather quickly. So again, if I go now to play some legato licks, so you can maybe not see because I'm trying to play through it kind of quickly, but my fingers are already kind of, especially for the pull-offs, all my fingers are kind of already in place. So all I have to do is that pull-off motion, and then boom, like you're hearing the note. Like all of these fingers are pre-engaged, and then like I said, I'm still using that pointer finger there. That's just there to mute. Now I will use this fatty part of my thumb to mute to hush some of these strings, like the E, A, and D, if I'm just playing stuff on the G, B, and E. But you know, largely it should sound dope. Now I'm going to show you another technique. It's some ancient wizardry. Okay, this is what a lot of killer guitar players are doing that they don't actually talk about much, and that's if I play the G string. Immediately, I didn't even mean to do it, but it just happened. This is part of my muscle memory. That's why people don't talk about it. It's because it's mostly their muscle memory until you have great clients like I do from premium guitar coaching that will ask you questions like, hey, how is it that you're doing such violent vibrato and getting little to no string noise from the other strings that you're not playing? And the answer is I put my pick on the top of the D string like this, and I take my middle finger and I grab the side of the B string closest to the ground. And so now I have this like little legato vibrato sandwich with my pick and my middle finger and the G string in the middle. So and so I pretty much do this with every string, every time I do vibrato. It just sounds clean, it sounds professional. Of course, sometimes you want multiple strings to ring out because you'll get a cool double stop effect, or you might get kind of a... You know, speaking of George Lynch or playing his music earlier, there's something snarly and honky about having two strings ring out at the same time. So anyway, this is the foundation for good alternate picking technique, and obviously, like, yeah, if you want to play sick legato runs, check out guys like Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads. Paul Gilbert's actually fairly decent at breaking this stuff down, even though he prefers mostly alternate picking. Cool lick you can start with like that. So I play the 7th fret of the D string, I pick that, and then I pick the G string, I play 4, 5, 7, and then I pull off to 5, and then I pull off to 4 on the G string. So it's like... So really, if I play a quick lick, I'm really only doing this as far as my right hand. So anyhow, yeah, I would practice that. I would do it with a metronome, and I would do it with the metronome, right? If you're having a hard time playing with the metronome and doing it properly, maybe you should talk to a professional. You know, and if you want to learn more about alternate picking, you can click the link in the description below. It's completely for free. Alternate Picking Master. It's a great little free course. And yeah, besides that, peace be with you. Have a great day. Have a sensational rest of your day. And I'm going to go enjoy some chicken wings. Peace.